So guys, I wanted to take another stab at deleting this background. I went back through and looked at what I did before and realized it was kind of crappy. So I looked to Affinity's site, and they have a few tutorials out on the best way to go about it. And I basically did it the way they already suggested, but in terms of refinement and how I masked things in terms of the background, I did it kind of the backwards way. So this time around, I'm going to try to fix that and maybe see if I can do a better job. So bear with me here. I may speed some of this up just for brevity's sake. But initially there's this tool in Affinity Photo. It's a selection tool and it's pretty nifty. It's kind of like the magnetic lasso tool in Photoshop, only honestly easier to use. So with the subject matter selected, you can obviously go in and refine this better, which we will do here in a second. But you want to make sure you get basically the entire thing. I'm obviously wanting to delete this background because we're going to use it on almost a white background on the actual design. So going through, you'll want to hit refine, and from this point you can do different preview modes like black or transparent. What I'm going to do is refine this a bit just to get some of this. The hardest part of this, I think, will be the hair. When you're using a brush, the brush tool like this, it feels like you're going to hurt or destroy some of the part you're cropping out, but actually it's just going through and finding the different pixel colors, I think, and the densities, and refining it just through your brush strokes. So it's pretty nifty. And I don't think Photoshop has something like this. There's a quick mask thing, but it's not quite as intuitive. And if you'll see there's red on the actual subject. We can go back through and edit that in the next step, which I'll show you. Alright, so we've got our mask. So what I want to do is actually do an actual mask on the layer, and then from there you can actually go to the mask itself and hit refine mask. You'll want to actually deselect your selection and then go to refine mask. And one helpful thing I saw with this one is to use the modifier key, you can add stuff back, I think. Oh, maybe not. Let's start black and white. And maybe we'll do the background. Is that delete or add? That deletes. So we want to actually do the foreground since it's a mask, right? Yeah. So you'll see tonalities of the background coming through. So there's still going to be some distorted pixels in this, and that's fine. We'll probably have to delete some of the hair, I think, just kind of realistic. But essentially, we're getting. I'm going to undo that last one. I don't like it. We're getting there. See, the main thing I wanted to take away is these elements of her strands of hair coming through, which is like hard to get. Then at this point you can go back through and probably clean up a lot of this stuff, which I'm going to do just basically by hand. Alright, so I'm going to add what helps me when I do background subtractions is to add like a dark color in the back. I just added white for some reason, but here's dark. And you can see certain things that shine through that otherwise wouldn't normally. Black is almost not a good color. You almost want like a green screen kind of scenario. I don't know if you've seen that in movies where they subtract the background. This is just preference though. That's a whole different way of going about it. But you can see a little bit more. Like one thing I noticed about her shirt is the edges, the outer edges are kind of bold, and I don't know if that's going to look exactly how we want it. But we will see. I want to see if I can't edit this mask a little bit more. Not the greatest, not the worst, and chances are we're not going to use this crazy green background. In fact, the background will be like more of an off-white. This is where I ended up before. I kind of edited this a little bit off screen, but I actually had to remove a bit of that hair just to make it look somewhat natural. Like right now, if you compare this, well, why don't I just do this? And I obviously messed with some effects and stuff too. I added actually a light source, so it's kind of stemming from the top left corner. It's almost too bright though. I'm wondering if I should revert to this kind of natural shot. But as you can see, let me see if I can get these pretty close so I can just toggle the view, or visibility, I should say. Yeah. So here, what you're seeing now is the new one I just did, and then behind it is the really edited one, I would say. I addressed skin, hair color, the shirt itself, the hair, which is a pain in the ass, but I think it turned out decent compared to this, which still has ailments. The big issue right now is these strands that are bugging me. It's pretty noticeable. The same with the outline of the shirt. That's kind of annoying. The lighting also seems a little dull. This is a little much, I feel like. So maybe I can revert back and tweak that a bit. But then again, in the context, oops, I kind of like it. So I don't know, I may roll with it. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think. I like the fact that the hair looks a little more natural than what I clipped here. The problem is just getting that to look absolutely, perfect. And I think it's just a matter of subtracting some of this background noise. So I think I'll probably go through and do that, and then maybe adjust a little bit of the lighting to appear similar to this, only not as bold and bright. pull up Affinity Designer here. Here's where we were. Was what I had. I'm gonna go add one more. So then I'll remove the background of that one. And that's looking pretty good. I mean, the hair is believable. More believable than this one to me. I mean, obviously it's cleaned up, but the real stuff's still prominent. Just noticed there's a weird mask thing going on the edge, but I can fix that. It's a little dull still to me, so there needs to be some sort of light cast down. For now, I'm gonna just delete that one. Anyway, let's go back to Affinity Photo. And for this one, I'm going to adjust that lighting like I talked about. There's still some refinements I might make on this hair, but I think it's gotten a lot better than it was. So I'm gonna delete or duplicate the layer and hide that, lock it. So let's do that lighting. It's gonna go crazy like this, which I don't like, but let's see what we can do. The beauty of it is you can adjust the opacity. So if I were to come back, bring the ambience down a little, possibly rotate this more, and do something like that. I don't want so much shininess, I guess is what that is. Diffuse. I think that's pretty natural. It might adjust the ambience a little bit. Let's try that. Here we can do before and after. Remove that. Move this. Right side is before, left is after. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe even less ambience. Or we can just adjust the distance. Yeah. Okay, there's still bits I want to adjust. It's hard. Like I said, this could take me, I could spend all day on this probably. And all right, I think for now, I think we'll roll with that. One thing I'd like to do is just clean up a few of these straggly hairs here. There's a neat tool in Affinity Photo that helps with that. It is called, where are we at? In painting tool is what I'm looking for. Here we go. And it's kind of, it's like a, I don't know, it takes a median of colors and finds something in the photo that shouldn't be and subtracts it. It's kind of nice if I get it to work here. Look, see, like that. How useful. So like in terms of an actual photo, if there's like a subject or a, you know, bird or something flying by that you want to get out of a landscape shot, maybe this is good for that. Almost anything that you don't want in your photo. So one more time, let's compare it to our old mock-up that we had. I'm just literally copying and pasting it in, by the way. You can do that pretty easily between apps. So we've got that one, and I think, move this up. Here's before. I've got to figure out this stupid dotted line thing going on. I'll figure it out, but for now, ignore that. But anyway, before, way before, after. This one's like an in-between, if you ask me, and I like it. there's still, man, that hair, I don't know. I might have to tweak even more, but if you don't stare at it, it looks pretty good. If you do stare at it, it looks pretty bad. So I don't know, we'll see. Her hair is tough to work with here. This one might honestly be looking better. Yeah. So that masking I did on that left side right here actually proved to make it look worse. So maybe I can go back and add that back lightly. On the red, it looks way more believable, but I bet if I remove that, yeah, you start to see the blemishes. So it really depends on the background. So I don't know, we'll see. But this video was just an attempt to kind of refine that a little better. I think I did well in terms of getting some of the realistic hairs coming off the actual top of the head. This stuff's, I think, a pain to deal with no matter what platform you're working on. Probably roll with this for now. We might even get another image or another concept. I plan to show her maybe 2 concepts completely, and maybe we'll do one that's like not cropped so the background can be in play from the original photo. I think that would be suitable, but we'll see. But anyway, if this helped you, that'd be, if you're into Affinity Photo and you're trying to get background subtracted on a really kind of challenging background, hopefully this helped you. Like or subscribe if you want to see more. That would be awesome. Let me know that you're into this series. There'll be a ton more to come. So the next stage, we'll probably work our way down this design and roll into more areas of the site. I'll see you in the next one.